And good afternoon. This is the Elliott Wave Daily Update for the S&P 500, being recorded on Monday, October the 13th at 2:25 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. There really is not very much to be adding over what I presented over the weekend, what I presented this morning, and so let's just do a quick update and see where we stand. I still think that I'm holding on to that we're in the middle of a minute fourth wave going down, and I think we've done the A as marked, and we may have done the B, but there may be some more left over. First thing you're going to notice is that I have switched this to an ABC versus a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that does leave open the potential that the market could come up and actually get as close as it wants and maybe even go over that high that we had at 6808.75. And that would have been last week. So got to leave that open right now because here again, now the market did trade several times to get above this resistance at 6707, got up as high as, let me see, 6711 and always fell back and then fell back and then fell back. So I'm going to change that, which gives the opportunity because I think we have A, B, and then 1, 2, kind of pulling up into a third a little bit, maybe, maybe not. Again, if I come bring it down to the 15-minute, I can take a look inside and then I can see pretty much A, B, 1, 2. I see this very sloppy and everything overlaps. Keeps it more corrective than impulsive. But even if we're looking a C wave going back up to finish this internal B wave, I would look for a little bit more strength and the ability to put an impulse wave in. Because a C wave would be five waves. It's always five waves. And right now, if this was going to be A, B, 1, 2, 1, 2, we might get some strength to get up there and then finish the B, minuet B of minute wave 4. And then we're looking for that C wave down. And again, we'll change everything. Like right now, I can change part of this. Let me see if I can get that. Yep. And at least I'm going to move it over to here because that's the current high is right there. So it moves it up a little bit. And let me just make sure that's correct. Extensions. Yeah, it is. Okay. So in any case, right now, if we still have additional on this B wave down, should that exist, because we always have that where it's an A, B, C or just an A, B, and we still have a C wave coming down to finish this internal B wave. So a couple of choices, but the market basically out of the three choices that we had today, that it was finished, it comes back down to put in an internal B wave, or it was all done and we're just going to continue to go up and we had our break points and it didn't go to either way, kind of stuck in between them. So there's nothing to be adding other than it was stuck in between. Um, Gamma levels were very safe today. We did not actually, and the one was in the Qs, but that was at 600. So with the spiders, not even close. And so that kind of left a lot of things in place in terms of what our gamma levels were coming in this morning. I don't think they're going to change very much overnight. And so once we're done with this B wave and we do come down in a C wave, well, here's what we're looking for. There's our first marker, 6542, 100% where wave C would be equal to wave A. Okay, wave A. B, so wave C would be equal to wave A. That's down here at 6437. We do have that in it's in the SPX, and it is the event momentum. So the event happening. Now, granted, what we did on Friday, that was an event momentum move, but we still may have some coming in terms of additional information even though, the president was kind of walking back a lot of all of this talk presented last Friday and then again over the weekend. A lot of that was walked back. A lot of it was kind of even saying that China, warming up. Maybe they didn't really mean. Maybe they're having a little problem, whatever. Which I've not read anything to that effect. But nonetheless, it kind of kept the market pretty quiet. And so I just think that there are a lot of talk. There's a lot of talk, and I'm hearing that there's even more, not only from Elliott International, talking about the end of a grand supercycle, fifth wave. And I now found out in a webinar that I gave about an hour ago that um, another Elliott wave analyst is also discussing or calling that as a major top that we had in the S&P. Now, I'm not quite there. I think it's only fourth wave. We got the minute fifth wave. And so I'm continuing to consider 7,000. And there's a lot of trades that are kind of coming up showing they're putting gamma up at 7,000. So it kind of can turn into a magnet, by the way. So it just kind of gets pulls it up there and gets it done. But I don't think we're going to even be in that mood unless we can get ourselves back above 67.10 and then 67.50. And primarily, I think we need to get to 67.12, 13 to where this 200, the 15-minute 200 is. And on the hourly chart, the 200 is at 67.42. So I would want to see it above on both levels, 15-minute and then again on the hourly chart to get above this and then keep going. And then again, we cannot, I still have to leave open that it's the B wave is going to go much higher. So here on this chart, we have, we kind of come up 1, 2, or A, B, and then 1, 2, and then 1, 2. And so we have, again, same thing. We could just really start to go, starting pretty much in Goldex, but if not, overnight, and we just start to move up. So as we can see, Asia starts to open with New Zealand and then Australia. And New Zealand's open up in early trading. They're up 0.1%. So everyone's going to kind of follow what the U.S. is doing, I guess, at the moment. In any case, not much. Now, let's just take a look again with the fact that that was wrong. Sorry about that. The fact that the government remains shut down, we are not going to be getting any of our economic data. And not that we had anything when we had tomorrow was the NFIB optimism index. And that comes out at 6 a.m. And we have no forecast. We only have the previous, which is at 100.8. So we'll see. It may have slipped a little bit after Friday's little downturn. And then we do have, well, Jerome Powell will be speaking tomorrow at 2:20 p.m. Eastern. That might have a little something to give the market in the afternoon, and then we have 1, 2, 3 other Fed people, 2 governors and a Fed president, also out talking tomorrow. So again, being that the chair, Jerome Powell, is out there, I would think that it's again at one of these banking conferences or something attached to that. Again, this week, the only major one that we had would have been on Thursday, where we get PPI and retail sales. Not going to happen. What we should, though, get on Thursday is the Philly Fed manufacturing. Everything else, the Home Builder Confidence Index, that'll come out as well. Everything else that's supplied by the government will not be released because government shut down. All right, so gamma levels I'll be updating tomorrow, but nothing got challenged today. To be honest with you, nothing really got challenged. And so, although spiders, they had that volatility trigger that was at 662, and here we are. We finally got above it, but now we're falling back towards it. So nothing really. Gave the market a little bit of a boost, but then they sold it off. So nothing really to reporting, and I'm going to leave it right there. And our next update will be tomorrow morning.